Hi there, this is Seth, and welcome to It's Wrestling Time Post Show. It is Saturday, May 27, 2023, and tonight I will be talking about WWE's Night of Champions. But before I get started, let's talk about the biggest shocker of the night, and that is the super kick heard around the world during the main event, which was a tag team title match. It was Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa for those WWE Undisputed Tag Titles. Jimmy Uso finally did it. He super kicked Roman Reigns not once, but 2 times. Talk about a shocker. I was really shocked. But you know what? That's storytelling at its finest. Let's talk about what led up to that. So when this match started, Sami Zayn spoke Arabic to the crowd and he introduced himself and Kevin Owens. And look, if you look at Roman's expression, he was just like whatever about it. And he played the part of a heel very well. And he was supposed to start the match with Sami Zayn, but he tagged himself out and instead tagged Solo Sikoa. He starts talking about how he should have never let Sami Zayn into the bloodline. Now, Roman gets mad at the referee here and he attempts to hit the referee. One part that I did think was funny was when Sami Zayn chopped Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns asked him who he thought he was, the Nature Boy. I really like the spot where Kevin Owens did the pop-up powerbomb to Roman Reigns and then he followed it up with the frog splash. Absolutely love the fact that after Roman Reigns hit Kevin Owens with the Superman punch, Kevin Owens turned around and gave him the stunner. Now, Roman Reigns attempted to spear Sami Zayn, but he accidentally ended up spearing the ref. Absolutely love the fact that Sami Zayn Superman punched Roman Reigns here. So with the ref knocked out, the Usos took it upon themselves to come out and attack Kevin Owens. And so then they enter the ring. Mind you, Roman Reigns is still outside. So the Usos super kick Sami Zayn. And they're about to do it again. But Sami Zayn moves out of the way and they accidentally super kick Solo Sikoa. Roman, who is on the outside watching, does not like this. So he enters the ring and he starts to shove Jimmy Uso. And Jimmy Uso isn't having it. And then he shoves Jay. And this is where it happens. Jimmy Uso super kicking Roman Reigns. And Jay is just confused. He's kind of furious at Jimmy for doing this. And Jimmy tells Jay that he is doing what he should have done a long time ago. And he super kicks him again. Oh my god, talk about a shock factor. I did not think that it was going to go down like this. And so Jimmy leaves with Jay. And, Roman Reigns falls out of the ring. And so this leaves Solo Sikoa alone with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. So Kevin Owens proceeds to give Solo Sikoa a stunner. And then Sami Zayn hits him with the haluva kick. And Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn successfully retain their tag team titles here. Holy shit. I was not expecting this at all. I thought for sure if the Usos were going to cost Roman and Solo the titles, it was going to be an accident. I did not think that they were actually going to go out there and cost them the titles. Wow, that was storytelling at its finest. Absolutely love that sequence. And as of today, Roman Reigns has now officially hit 1,000 days as champion. And he's supposed to have his 1,000-day celebration on Smackdown this coming week. Roman Reigns is not going to be happy that Jimmy super kicked him. So I'm very curious to see what's going to happen. I'm sure this might lead to Roman and Solo versus the Usos at Money in the Bank. But I cannot wait for this fallout. It's going to be great. So Night of Champions kicked off with the World Heavyweight title match. It was Seth freaking Rollins versus AJ Styles. Now I have to say I was not happy that this match opened the show because this totally makes it feel like a secondary title to me. This should have main evented, but it was rumored that Seth Rollins needed to leave Saudi Arabia so he can continue filming Captain America New World Order. So that would explain a lot. But hopefully going forward, this title doesn't always open or go on second to last. This was honestly a really great match. In my opinion, match of the night. Now, the beginning of this match was a stalemate between Seth Rollins and AJ Styles. You had a knee to Styles on the outside. You had a shoulder to the midsection of Rollins. You have AJ Styles doing a snap suplex to Seth Rollins on the turnbuckles. I really like when Seth Rollins did the inverted superplex from the second rope to AJ Styles. So there's just one point in the match where Seth Rollins does a suicide dive and he kind of lands awkwardly on his knee, but they don't really sell that as much throughout the match. Yes, AJ Styles targets that knee with a calf crusher, but this doesn't really hinder Seth Rollins. I do like the fact that AJ Styles hits a Pele kick, and then he follows it up with a pedigree. One of my favorite spots in this match was when AJ Styles was attempting to do the phenomenal forearm, and Seth Rollins caught him with the super kick midair. Afterwards, Seth Rollins hits the pedigree, and he follows it up with the stomp, and Seth freaking Rollins is victorious here. Much deserved. I honestly really glad Seth freaking Rollins won this title. He certainly deserves it after the incredible year he's had. And so at the end, Triple H comes out and he presents the title to Seth Rollins and straps it around his waist. Next, we have Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus. Becky Lynch dressed like Uma Thurman in Kill Bill. So I have to say, Trish Stratus still has it. She looks like she didn't miss a beat. This was actually a really good match. I really like the fact that Becky did to disarm her to Trish, and she escaped by pulling Becky's hair. After Becky did the manhandle slam to Trish, she put her foot on the rope. But let's talk about this finish. So after Trish exits the ring, it kind of looks like she's going under the ring. And Zoe Starks comes out from under the ring, and she hits a Z360 to Becky. And then Trish hits a Stratisfaction to Becky. And so Trish Stratus is victorious. So I'm very curious to see what this alliance with Zoe Starks goes. Maybe they're going to bring back Lita, since Trish admitted she was the one that took out Lita. Maybe we're going to get ourselves a tag team match. You know, Trish and Zoe Starks versus Becky and Lita. I could see that happening, especially after this match. Next, we get Gunther versus Mustafa Ali for the Intercontinental title. And the only thing I wanted in this match, because I knew Mustafa Ali was going to lose, was that he looked good in defeat. I was hoping it wasn't a squash match, and it wasn't. So I'm really happy about that. Probably my favorite moment in this match was when Mustafa Ali powerbombed. Yeah, he powerbombed Gunther, and he followed it up with the 450 splash. And then he super kicked and gave Gunther DDT. That was probably my favorite moment in the match. Of course, Gunther is victorious after he hits Mustafa Ali with the powerbomb, but Mustafa Ali looked really good in this match, and even in defeat, he gave a great performance. I'm just really happy that happened. We get a quick backstage segment with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. And Sami Zayn tells Kevin that they could possibly lose the titles tonight. And this does not sit well with Kevin Owens, because he says that the Usos are more of a tag team than Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa. And Kevin Owens says he's sick and tired of hearing about Roman Reigns' 1,000 days and that he didn't go all the way to Saudi Arabia to lose tonight. So I thought that was a funny little backstage segment. Next, we get Bianca Belair versus Asuka for the Raw Women's title. I don't know why it's still the Raw Women's title when Bianca Belair is on SmackDown, but hey. So one thing that I really like about this match is that Asuka used Bianca's hair against her multiple times throughout this match. She kept grabbing Bianca's hair. And at some point, Asuka does spray the mist, but she misses. And I really, really love the finish to this match. I thought it was a really creative finish. So Asuka had her hand taped up, and she spit the mist in her hand, like in her fingers. And so when Bianca went for the KOD, Asuka gouged her eyes with the mist. Then Asuka gave Bianca a kick to the side of the head, and Asuka is victorious, and she is now the new Raw Women's Champion, despite the fact that she's on SmackDown. So, you know, I really like Bianca Belair, but it was time for her title reign to come to an end. She's now officially the longest reigning women's champion in the modern era, so we needed to take that title off of her, because in my opinion, her reign was just getting stale. Speaking of SmackDown, this was followed up by the SmackDown women's title match, Rhea Ripley versus Natalya. And this was such a short match. I mean, Rhea Ripley squashed Natalya in like 69 seconds because Dominic created a distraction. So Rhea Ripley was able to blindside Natty. And not to mention, tonight was Natty's birthday. So she got humiliated on her birthday. Good thing they weren't in Canada, though. I think that would have been double humiliation for Natty. So now that Asuka's champion, Rhea Ripley retained the SmackDown women's title. I wonder if they're going to swap titles, or if they're just going to rebrand the titles. In my opinion, they should just rebrand the titles. Asuka should be the WWE Women's Champion, and Rhea Ripley should be the Women's World Champion. But that's just me. We got to wait and see what they do. So then we get a quick backstage interview with Seth freaking Rollins. He starts talking about how it's been nearly 4 years since he held championship gold, that he walked out as the new heavyweight champion, and that he will be there on Raw this Monday and every show going forward, and that he is a visionary, he's a revolutionary, and he's finally a world champion. Then we get Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar. Now, they say that Cody Rhodes had his arm broken, so he came out with a cast that was made out of titanium. And Cody Rhodes pulled a Bob Orton, And he used that cast as a weapon. I mean, he was beating up Lesnar with that weapon. With that cast, I mean, my bad. Cast. I meant cast. He takes 2 belly-to-belly suplexes. So I have to say, Cody Rhodes did sell the broken arm. The first time he hit the crossroads to Brock Lesnar, he was grabbing that arm, as well as the second time that he did the crossroads. On the third time that Cody Rhodes attempted the crossroads, Brock Lesnar turned it into the Kimura lock. And Cody used every strength in his power to break the Kimura lock by reaching the rope. So Cody Rhodes manages to do a third crossroads to Brock Lesnar, but Brock Lesnar does the F5, and then he hits another Kimura lock to Cody Rhodes. And Cody Rhodes refuses to tap out, and he ends up passing out. So Brock Lesnar is victorious here, and you know there's going to be a rematch after that finish. In my opinion, their rematch should have a stipulation, especially now that Brock Lesnar made Cody Rhodes pass out, and especially since Cody Rhodes busted Brock Lesnar open in their first match. So third one should definitely have a stipulation, in my opinion. I'm going to stop the review right there, as I did already talk about the main event at the beginning. So overall, I did enjoy tonight's show. I felt like it was a really good pay-per-view. Really loved the opening match, and that main event was storytelling at its finest. What more can you ask for? Well, that's all for today. Thank you guys all so much for watching and for the continued support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever I go live or release a new video. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for Double or Nothing. Bye.